Okay, we're going to continue the discussion of how to shepardize a case, not a case, but how to shepardize the law, with looking at how to shepardize a statute, which is a little bit different from cases. It's not always as clear if we have a problem with a statute. So the first thing we'll do is we need to know how to find the statute. So I know my citation. So first thing I want to, we can't actually get to it from the first screen in Lexis, so that makes this a little bit more challenging. So we just go down here to U.S. Legal, and this is where all the things we're going to be looking for can be found anyway. But we want statute, so I'm looking for a state statute. So I'm going to enter it here. Now this is a big one. You have to always look at is it's set on it. You have to get your state right before you enter anything. So it's going to default to Alaska. So if I leave it stuck at Alaska, I'm going to be going the wrong place. So I want to look at an Illinois statute. Now I happen to know the citation, so I'm going to enter it here. You can also, if you're, you can search just like with a case. So if you have terms that you're looking for, if you're looking to find statutes about the motor vehicle code, you could enter in motor vehicle here, and that would take you to that part of the statute and bring up the right provisions. But so here I've entered in my statute. I already knew what it was, so I want to look and see where we go. So I happen to know that there's we have several sections here. We have section 1, 2, 4, 5. I actually know it's number 1 that I'm looking for. So we've got our the statute regarding eavesdropping, which was famous, which was involved in a recent case. Part of the statute says that it is illegal to record a police officer while in public. So this was a controversial case. So we look here. We've got our statute here, just defining things. And now as we scroll down, we notice we don't have that same red dot up here. The citations and things are all just down below the actual provisions of the statute. So we need to scroll down to see the case notes. So we look here. We've got lots of analysis. So all of the cases that have cited this statute are down here, and you can look at all the different issues that have come up. Now, a statute is normally, as you saw in that go back here. If you look at this last screen, this is all big parts of the statute, so it's huge. So, and this is just section 514. There's 513. There's 515. So it's really huge. So. One thing to note that is if a court finds a problem with a statute, it doesn't strike down the whole statute. It'll just strike down that small piece of it. So we'll rarely find a statute that is completely bad law. Usually it might be one little part of it, so we have to be kind of careful in what we're looking for. So most of these things are just interpreting the statute. So if we want to know how courts have defined what an eavesdropping device is, we click on this. It'll take me down there. I may have to scroll down. So I'll just scroll down to the section on wherever it went. Yeah, here we go. Definition of eavesdropping, and so I could click on this People versus Klingenberg case, and that'll we've got two choices, and that'll explain to me how the court defined it. But the main thing I want to look at is this statute constitutional, or at least the part of it that might be important to our case. So the good thing is that's right up front. That's right on top. That's the first thing Lexis tells you. This is the one you really want to know if we're trying to determine if this is good law or not. And so we look down here, we can see right away there's constitutionality. So we had a preliminary injunction, and it looks like this particular provision, at least as it applies to open audio recording of police officers performing their official duties in public, the court held that was unconstitutional, that there is a First Amendment right to record police officers while they're in public. So we have our case here if we need to if we want to research it, further to see, what exactly they said, we click on the case. It'll take us through there. We probably want to then key cite Shepardize the case. So we click here. So that this case said there was a problem with the statute. Now when we get down here, we can look and see. We can see this is subsequent appellate history. This is one that's really important. We need to know what did the Supreme Court do with this decision. And we have writ of certiorari denied. That means the Supreme Court did not hear the appeal. The state of Illinois under, I guess the Cook County, under Anita Alvarez, tried to appeal to the Supreme Court. The court denied the appeal. That doesn't usually mean anything. It doesn't mean that the court said, she had a bad case or anything like that. It just means it's one of the 99.9% of cases the Supreme Court chooses not to hear. But what it does mean is that this citation is good. That means that the Seventh Circuit's opinion in this case stands. The Supreme Court did not overrule it, so we go with what the Seventh Circuit said here. So we can look in here. We've got it's been cited by some other courts, but no, we don't have any danger. So that opinion has stood up. It's also, if we care to check, it's been supported by a lot of law review articles, which might be a good sign that it's going to stay. That all of these law review articles are writing in favor of the decision. So that is generally a sign that a case is not going to be challenged too much more. So we've found our case. We found our. Go back. So we found our statute here. We read it. And we went down to that very first section. Again, you don't have to look deep. It's constitutionality is going to be the first question. But now let's say I didn't. It wasn't a matter of I wanted to see if the case was constitutional or not. I wanted to see what is the burden of proof. And so you can scroll down and see whatever it is, the issue that you're trying to learn about in this case. You can with the statute, you can go down and find cases talking about it. So cases are a good way to flesh out the statute. They explain it in more details because as you look, particularly when you read the statutes, they can be kind of hard to read. Look at this. We have 3 lines before we finally get to a period here. So they're not the easiest to read. So it might be helpful if somebody explains, what does electronic communication mean? We've got cases. So you can see. So we've got cases that explain just what electronic communication means. We can scroll down and get that explained. So hopefully this makes sense to you. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.